everyone, and welcome to my channel. So some of you may have seen me before try to do YouTube. It hasn't really worked out for me in the past, but I really miss making videos, so this is me giving it another shot. If you aren't familiar with who I am, I'm Laur. I like music, makeup, and missing persons cases, and that's mainly what this channel is going to be. Maybe not so much the missing persons cases. I'm thinking about maybe doing a couple true crime videos, but mostly what you're going to see here is a lot of makeup videos, i.e. this, and a lot of music, so I'll be posting a lot of covers and maybe some original songs and that kind of thing. Also, I just want to say sorry in advance that this video looks like it's being filmed on an actual toaster. I don't have my good camera right now, so this is being filmed on my laptop. But yeah, if you guys want to see how I created this little sparkly pink look, then stay tuned and enjoy.
Alright, so before we get started, I have done my eyebrows off camera. The reason for this is because I plan on making a whole video that talks about how I do my eyebrows and my base, because it just takes too long. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the Urban Decay primer in the original formula to just prime my eyes and get ready for all of the beautiful shadows and colors that will be applied momentarily. Alright, so next we're going to grab the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and we're going to go in with the color Buon Fresco. It's kind of like a taupey pink, maybe? I don't know colors. But we're going to use this little fluffy brush that was on the end of the one that came in the palette and dip into that color, and just put it all in my crease and a little bit on my inner and outer corners. The look we're going for today is sort of a halo eye kind of thing, so we want to make sure that this color is just a nice base to add on the darker colors too. Alright, so next up I'm just grabbing a Morphe fluffy brush. I don't actually know which one it is, it came in a brush set, but it's fine. It's just a generic fluffy brush. And we are going to take the Modern Renaissance palette again and dip into the shade Love Letter. This is a gorgeous, deep, pinkish red kind of color. And this is going to go right in the crease and the inner and outer corner again to start deepening up that crease area and making it nice and dimensional. Now going back in with the fluffy brush we used for the first color, I'm going to go over this new one and really blend the two together so that the transition is seamless. Renaissance palette in the shade Cypress Umber. It's a very warm brown, and taking this small little tapered brush that's also an unnamed Morphe brush, we're going to put that right in the very center of the inner and outer corners and a little bit up into the crease, just to really give that full deepening effect, because we want the center of the lid to really pop. Next up we are going back in with that Morphe fluffy brush and blending the dark pink with the brown to once again make it a nice seamless transition. Next up, we're going in with the iconic Kat Von D Saints and Sinners palette. This is one of my all-time faves. I love it so much. The shade we're going to be using is called Baptism. It is a sort of lilac, almost white color with just a little bit of a purple tint to it. And we're going to use that right in the center of our lid, using the other side of the Anastasia brush that is more of a packing brush to really get that color on there. So like I said, that's just going to go in the center of the lid, and we want to make sure to blend that into the other colors because we're going to put a shimmer color right on top of it. Now we're going to be using another one of my all-time favorites. This is the Urban Decay really shiny and glittery mix in the color Solstice. Now this is a pink/blue eyeshadow, depending on how you look at it in the light. It switches colors. It's really, really cool. It's kind of holographic. I live for it. So I'm just going to take my finger and tap it in there because this color is shattered in my little container. So I have to be very careful when I use it. So just tapping that right onto the finger and then right onto the lid. I don't want to go too heavy at first because glitter is very hard to take away. So this is going right in the center of the lid and just tapping it a little bit onto the edges to blend it in and kind of fade it out into the darker colors. Now, obviously, I'm not being super careful with it as it's getting all underneath my eyes. This is why I do my foundation after my eyes. I just find that it saves me a lot of hassle with cleaning up fallout. But obviously, you can do your foundation whenever you want in your makeup routine. It is up to you. I just prefer to do mine after my eyes. Next up, I'm going in with this Too Faced, I believe it is the Diamond highlight, but I could be wrong. It has tones of blues, greens, pinks in it, and I'm taking just a small little packing brush to apply this to my brow bone. I love using the shade as a brow highlighter because it is so blinding, and because I'm using a really bad camera right now, it doesn't show up that well on camera, but I swear to God, it is one of the prettiest highlighters I've ever owned. Alright, so the next product I'm going to use is this Kat Von D Liquid Lash Liner. Now, I have trouble with this sometimes, but the payoff and how long it stays on and how black it is makes it absolutely worth it. And I cannot get the top off, and I'm having a really big struggle. But once you get the top off... Anyway, I like to rub a little bit of it off on the container because it's just a little too liquidy when I'm doing it in my tight line. But that's what we're going to do right now. You want to make your eyes real wide and just hope for the best with this. I don't really have many tips for it. I just kind of try my best and cry a little bit and hope for the best. Alright, the next thing you're going to want to do is curl your lashes. I know some people don't really see much of an effect when they curl their lashes, and I'm not really sure if I do, but I like to do it anyway, just in case it does have a difference. I don't know. I'm a conformist, sue me. Then I'm going to go in with everybody's favorite mascara, the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I've been using this for years and years and years now, honestly, since about my senior year of high school. I love it so, so much. It has the best volume and like dark black color. I also like to do 2 coats of this, but for some reason I like to do one before my foundation and then one after. So right now I'm doing the before. I don't know if this has a real effect on the outcome, but it's just how I like to do it. Live your life, do your mascara the way you want to. Alright, now that my mascara is done, I'm going to go do my base off camera and I'll be right back. Alright, I am back and my horrible skin is covered and concealed and contoured and all that good stuff. So we're going to go back into the Modern Renaissance palette, back into our transition shade Buonfresco, and back in with that original Anastasia brush. And I'm just going to put this right underneath my eye to use it as a transition shade under my eye, because we're going to go back in with Love Letter in just a second. Alright, now taking the shade Love Letter on this really tiny tapered brush. I usually use this as a smudge brush. Right now, I'm going to use it to put Love Letter really close to that lash line, pretty much on the lash line, all underneath my eye. And then I'm going to go back in with the fluffy Anastasia brush and just blend the two colors together to make a really nice gradient transition, if you will. Okay, now this step's a little weird, but just go with it. I am taking my concealer shade. I like the Too Faced Born This Way. I use it for my foundation as well. It's great. I only want a little bit on the applicator because I'm going to put it right in the center of my under eye bottom lid. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I'm just tapping a little bit on there and blending it out with my finger. This is just going to bring my natural skin color back into underneath my eye because I like to put some glitter right underneath the eye to really add even more shine to this already quite glittery look. And trust me, it's gonna look a little funny when you just have a little skin-colored spot in the middle of all this shadow, but we'll get there. Just go with it, okay? All right, now we're gonna go back in with the shade Solstice that we used on our eyelids, and we are gonna put that in this little concealer spot we made using a little packing brush, I think is what it's called. And I'm gonna squirt this with setting spray just to make sure the glitter is really sticking because it's kind of hard to use when it's all broken and shattered like mine is. Also, I just like to use setting spray with glitter shadows. I find that the pigment comes out much better. So I'm just gonna tap the brush into the color just a couple times to get some on there, but not too much, even though this is blatantly putting glitter under the eye. So we're just gonna tap this right underneath the eye, making sure that it's about even with where we put the glitter on the lid. And I like to kind of flick this up and down a little bit because it creates kind of a glitter tear effect that I'm really loving lately. Also because I'm an extra bitch, but I just think it looks really neat and cool, especially with this holographic two-toned kind of pigment. It's just cool. You don't have to do it. It's just fun. Alright, now I'm going to go back in with the Kat Von D liquid lash liner and put this in my waterline, which is significantly easier than putting it in the tight line because you don't have to like hold your eye up, and holding your eye down is just kind of easier. Because I don't want to mess up my base, I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush to hold my eye down. I guess you're technically not supposed to stretch the skin around your eye, but like, I do it anyway. Now dipping back into that brown shade Cypress Umber with that same tiny tapered brush that we used with the Love Letter shade. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the outer and inner corners of my bottom lid. That's what we're going to call it, bottom lid, just to deepen that up a little bit more. And now, once again, taking that Morphe fluffy brush, I'm just going to blend out all of the colors underneath my eye, skipping over the part with the glitter shade because we want that to stay consolidated. The next step is to realize how dirty your hands are and clean them off with a paper towel and have that not work, and then take some coconut oil and clean them off that way because we do not want black lines running down our face. Alright, going back in with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara for that second coat that goes on so much later than the first for some reason. I'm just gonna add one more coat to the mascara because I like my lashes to be large and full and voluminous. I don't know if that's a word, but we're gonna go with it. And I also can't be bothered to put on false lashes because I'm lazy. I'm also going to take a clean spoolie brush just to separate out my under eyelashes, because I find that if I use a new tube of mascara on them, they kind of get clumpy and they get too much on them. So I like to take a spoolie and just clean them off a little bit. Alrighty, next I'm going to go in with setting spray and just set what we have so far, because now we're going to move on to highlight. And I like putting highlight onto a kind of dampened, just set face. Alright, we're going to use the Too Faced Diamond question mark highlight color and a fan brush. This is a Morphe one, and I'm going to wet it with some setting spray because pigment is cool. And I'm going to tap off the excess spray because I go a little excessive with the setting spray because I don't know when to stop. And we're just gonna put it right into that pigment, coat the brush, and just put it right on our cheekbone. We love to bring out the high points of the face, and this highlight is blinding, and it even shows up on camera, which is awesome. I didn't think it would, so this is very cool. And because I'm feeling a little more extra than usual today, we're going to go back into the Kat Von D Saints and Sinners palette in the shade Absolution, which makes me think of the band Ghost, which is a very glittery white shade. And I'm just going to use my finger and tap right into that, and just tap it along everywhere that I put the Too Faced highlight, just to add a little more glitter, because that was the inspiration for this look, is just glitter. All right, now we can all have our James Charles moment where we spray copious amounts of setting spray on our face and just bask in the cool mist feeling. Next, we're going to take the Jeffree Star Androgyny Velour Liquid Lipstick. I believe this is what they're called. I am obsessed with this shade. Also, I am so bad at doing lipstick. You guys, I get it all over my face, all over my teeth, it's just everywhere. So laugh at me struggling to put on lipstick for however long it takes. And like I said, we are feeling more extra than usual today, so we're going to dip back into the diamond highlight and just put that right in the center of the lip, on the bottom and the top. So that is it for my first makeup tutorial on this channel. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, as that would be nice of you. And if you want to recreate this look, please do, and send me pictures. My Instagram is @warped.laur. My Twitter is @warped_laur. And those are the social medias that I use. But I would really like to see some recreations. I think that'd be really neat. And let me know down in the comments below what kind of videos you want to see from me, what kind of looks you want me to do makeup-wise, what kind of songs I should cover, if there's a missing persons case you're interested in, just leave me all the comments. I also want to give a big shout out to Instagram user This Person for naming this creation look thing. Thank you so much for being active on my platforms. Make sure you follow me on said social medias that I mentioned, and I'm planning on putting out a video about once a week on this channel, but that's like subject to change because college and life. That's gonna be it from me, and I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I will see you next time. Bye!